Well, are you looking for one of the best school districts in all of Virginia Beach and the state? Ocean Lakes is the topic today. We're starting right now. Hey, my name's Sam Santillan and I'm a real estate agent in Hampton Roads, Virginia. And if it's your first time here, welcome. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification next to it. You'll be notified every time I do a video, which is every Wednesday about Hampton Roads and real estate. And I've been helping so many people, especially recently, helping them move into the area, talking them through the planning process and helping them in terms of buying real estate and all that stuff. So I just love doing that for people, especially if you've never been here before. So if you're looking into moving into the area, please let me know. I got my contact information on the screen. I'll put it in the comments as well. Let me know as soon as you can and I can start helping you plan and strategize for your move. Now, today we're talking about Ocean Lakes. If you've seen any of my videos about neighborhoods, you know I try and get real detailed about this, hyper local. I'm talking about the history about Ocean Lakes in the area and school districts, restaurants, shopping areas. Where is it in relation to everything else, like drive times to important locations, and my favorite restaurant too, I'll put at the end of the video. This one's really good. One of the most important things is the real estate, how much are houses in the Ocean Lakes area. And of course we'll go through and do some drive-bys of real estate in Ocean Lakes too. I'll talk about prices, styles of homes, all that kind of stuff, so you can get a real good idea of what's available in Ocean Lakes and what kind of price ranges and what you can expect if you want to move into Ocean Lakes, because often that school district is a big deal for people. Well, where's Ocean Lakes? Well, I'll tell you on the map, and we'll zoom in on the map right now. If you look on the map on the southeast side of Virginia Beach, you see kind of like a big section there. I circled it so it's obvious you can tell, but in the middle of that there's a big like open area. That's Oceana Naval Air Station. Around that are a lot of neighborhoods that make up the Ocean Lakes School District. Now you see there's two streets I'll kind of point out. There's London Bridge Boulevard on the far west side of Ocean Lakes, and on the south side is Nemo Parkway. Anything north of Nemo and east of London Bridge, and also just south of 264, most of that, other than the ocean front, is Ocean Lakes School District in that Ocean Lakes area. And right in the middle of that is the Oceana Naval Air Station. So it's in the southeastern corner. If you notice on the map, you'll see 264, Interstate 264 above the Ocean Lakes area, and to the far west side you'll see Interstate 64. Those are the two primary interstates in and around the Hampton Roads area, the south side. If you notice that it doesn't look like Ocean Lakes is close to either one of those places. The reason I say that is that the drive time to most places outside of the Ocean Lakes area can be a little bit farther than other spots in Virginia Beach and other cities. So depending on where you work, it might take a while. So for instance, driving from Ocean Lakes up to Norfolk Navy Base, up in the northwestern side of Norfolk, that can be a 30 to 35 minute drive without traffic. If you go to the ocean front, it might look like it's close, but those long roads headed to the beach from Ocean Lakes are kind of long. So it can take you anywhere from 10 to 15 to 20 minutes sometimes driving from there to the ocean front. And Town Center is a 15 to 20 minute drive as well. And so even to Chesapeake, Great Bridge, and Greenbrier, you're talking 30 plus minutes. So the drive time to other places can be a little bit more, but you're still getting an awesome school district and proximity to the beach and great real estate too. And one of the most popular reasons people move to Ocean Lakes, besides just the school district, is if you're stationed in Oceana. If you're stationed in Oceana and you like the quick access to work, this is the place to be. But in getting to other parts of the area that don't connect to the interstate very well, there's a road called Princess Anne Road that runs from Ocean Lakes area over west into other parts of Virginia Beach and into Norfolk. So you can take that road. It's a little bit longer time-wise on a normal day, but if you're hitting traffic on the interstates, it could actually save you some time. Now for the history of Ocean Lakes. So something specific I want to talk about with the history about this area. If you look at one of the streets in Ocean Lakes area is General Booth Boulevard. Well, how did they name it General Booth? General Booth was Major General Paul Booth, who lived in the area and was stationed there back in the 60s. And there was a storm called the Ash Wednesday Storm. There was a nor'easter that came, I think one of the largest nor'easters ever, but one of the most intense ones to ever hit the Mid-Atlantic region. $200 million worth of damage, but it really caused a lot of flooding and damage in Hampton Roads, specifically Virginia Beach. So Paul Booth was the one that spearheaded the cleanup after the fact. The city was real grateful and they named that street after him. That's the history about that street. I'll drop a link below to give more context about that and about the Ash Wednesday storm. If you're into weather and like history, that might be something that you might find interesting too. Now with real estate in Ocean Lakes. So again, you see that kind of like a horseshoe. You see the neighborhoods all around the Oceana Naval Air Station. They're kind of ranging in prices. You'll see there are a lot of modest neighborhoods. It's townhouses, condos, and some smaller single family houses in that 1,000 to 1,500 square foot range. But then as you go into other neighborhoods, you start going into $200,000, $300,000, and $400,000. There's some great neighborhoods under that and some that are higher too. I'll say Lagomar probably is the prime neighborhood in the Ocean Lakes School District. Other neighborhoods, Red Mill Farm, Ocean Lakes itself, Princess Anne Plaza, Red Wing, SeaTac, Strawbridge, Dan Nick Estates. There are quite a few, but there's one Park Place that's right next to Red Wing Park, one of the larger publicly funded parks in Virginia Beach, which is a really important thing to note because Virginia Beach has over 220 publicly funded parks in the city. So this is Red Wing Park, one of the larger ones. Lots of grass, lots of playgrounds, tennis courts, volleyball courts. Do a picnic there. You can have people over and big gatherings. There's also a Japanese garden in that same part too, really fun. But next to that, there's a connection, a little trail that sneaks out from Red Wing Park that connects to Park Place, which is the neighborhood next to it. These are awesome houses and some of the cool streets. I love these streets, and you've seen some of my other videos. You know I love tree-covered streets, and there's some in here. They're named after the Monopoly pieces like Reading and Railroad. So Park Place is priced in that $350 to $450 price range, but you're close proximity to Oceana if you are stationed in Oceana, and you're also near Campground KOA. If you go a little bit further north from there, you'll see the Virginia Aquarium and Ocean Breeze. You'll see a lot of these neighborhoods are built in the 70s and the 80s. The square footage range are 1,500 to 2,000 for the most part, up to 3,000, 4,000 sometimes. Lagomar has prices up into the $1 million range. One thing I want to mention about the Princess Anne Plaza area on the west side of Ocean Lakes. If you want to move into Princess Anne Plaza, part of that neighborhood is not in Ocean Lakes School District. The other part is in Green Run. So just be watchful. If you're looking for that area to move into, to buy real estate in, just be watchful of which streets you're buying in that neighborhood, because if you want a certain school district, whether it be Green Run or Ocean Lakes, just make sure that you look at the street and where that street is in relation to the school district that you want. And speaking of the school districts, we'll talk about the elementary school, middle schools, and the high school. High school is Ocean Lakes High School, like I said before. One of the best in the area. You look on niche.com, I'll throw the ranks down below. You can start doing some research about that. And also elementary schools, you've got Three Oaks and Ocean Lakes, so it's kind of the two main primary ones, but then you've got Bird Neck, Corporate Landing, W.T. Cook, there are some others, Brookwood and Holland. Middle school, you've got Virginia Beach Middle and Princess Anne Middle. The primary one is Corporate Landing Middle. So I'll drop links about all these schools and school districts. Okay, now shifting gears into the shopping. Now, shopping in Ocean Lakes in the area is pretty easy because there used to be a lot of land that had been undeveloped. Well, since then, as the neighborhoods got developed in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, more shopping was developed as well. There's so much shopping in and around Ocean Lakes. You got Red Mill Commons, anything around Red Mill, which is in the kind of the southeastern section of Ocean Lake. General Booth and Dan Neck, that corner, Strawbridge. So you've got places like the Target, your Walmarts, a lot of your strip malls that have the restaurants and grocery stores that you like. One of my favorite, Harris Teeter's. I'm a big grocery store ranker, I guess, in my mind. One of my favorite Harris Teeter's is in the Sandbridge area, which is right near Lagomar. That's an awesome Harris Teeter if you care. There are other grocery stores that are good too. I'll go back. If you see my grocery stores a video I posted, there's a map I made that gives you more information, context about where the grocery stores are in the area. And your other shopping also is Hilltop. And so I've talked about Hilltop before. It's on Laskin Road, just north of 264 and north of the Ocean Lakes area. Plenty of shopping, a little more upscale than other places, but you got your Whole Foods, your Trader Joe's up there. So there's great shopping in Hilltop too. So you're pretty well surrounded with awesome shopping. 15 to 20 minutes from town center, which was where Pembroke Mall is, and another Target, Nordstrom Rack, and like the downtown area of Virginia Beach. But the closest mall is Lynn Haven Mall. That's really only about a 10 to 12 minute ish drive from a lot of Ocean Lakes, but it really borders the west side of Ocean Lakes. So one of my favorite restaurants is right next to this, but you'll see this is a big shopping area. So if there's anything you can't find that you need in the Ocean Lakes area, just go to Lynn Haven Mall area and you'll find a lot of what you need. In addition to, if you want to go to different malls, if you like a J. Crew, there's a J. Crew Mercantile in right across the street from Town Center. In terms of those restaurants, now there are a few that I have not been to that I do recommend that you try because I've heard good things about and I also want to try. One is Civil Libation, another is Blue Seafood and Spirits, and also the Whiskey Kitchen. There are others, a few. Again, that General Booth Dam Neck area I think you're going to find real interesting and fun to check out little spots. There's one tea shop that my wife and I loved called Spoon that just closed down just before I made this video, so I guess that doesn't really help you, does it? But one that I really want to tell you about that I love that's just outside near that Lynn Haven Mall area is El Pico de Oro. It's a Peruvian restaurant. The chicken's outstanding. I mean, it's one of the pound for pound, one of the best deals in all of Tidewater, in my opinion, of the South Side. The chicken's on point, the seasoning's amazing. They give you a ton of food for what you're paying for. And of course, you got seafood if you want to go the seafood up to the oceanfront. You got Waterman's, Rockefeller's, Catch 31. There's all kinds of seafood and great restaurants on the oceanfront. I'll throw any information that you need about the restaurants as well down in the description below. In terms of the cons, the one big con I would say is the proximity to other places around Ocean Lakes, just the drive to those places. So if you work in other parts of Virginia Beach or other cities like Norfolk and Chesapeake or others, you're gonna find that driving, especially during rush hour, can be really annoying. So a rule of thumb, a lot of the places that you might find that you wanna go might take 20 minutes. That's kind of the typical common thing people say is, how long does it take to get from here to here? 20 minutes. But if you find that a lot of your life is being spent in and around Ocean Lakes, whether it be for work or school district or whatever, you're gonna find that Ocean Lakes does a lot for you. It brings a lot of value. It's the real estate there, it's the school districts are on point, you've got proximity to the beach, you've also got easy access to still the town center and other shopping malls. It's just that if you wanna go outside of that, you wanna go up into Hampton, Newport News, Chesapeake, Norfolk, it's going to take you a little bit longer than if you just moved about 10 to 15 minutes west. Now another con I'll mention is often talked about in Virginia Beach, which is the jet noise. A lot of houses are near Oceana, and so when people have conversations, often daily, they'll start talking and then all of a sudden you'll hear some... You have to wait for it to finish and then you can keep going in your conversation. Something to consider if you're moving to Ocean Lakes. That's about as hyper local as you can get, and I'll see you on the next video.